Welcome to Meditations on the State of Education. This is pre-release content from the Future Education podcast brought to you by the University of the Universe. These are short vignettes, raw and minimal, overheard conversations, complaints, ideas for improvement. The aim here is not polished production, but raw, unfiltered voices, real perspectives on what education is and what it could be. Our official launch of full production episodes is set for March 1st, 2026. You can subscribe now to stay in the loop and help shape this venture from its earliest stages into a foundation for powerful education for ourselves and our descendants for centuries to come.
Welcome to the Future Education Podcast, where we reimagine what it means to learn, lead, and live fully in the next millennium. Today, I want to explore one of the deepest and most timeless archetypes in human storytelling, the mentor. Where it comes from, why it matters, and how it guides the work we're doing at the University of the Universe. The origins of the mentor from Homer's Odyssey. Let's start at the beginning, literally. The word mentor comes from Homer's Odyssey, an epic poem written nearly 3,000 years ago. Odysseus, about to leave for the Trojan War, entrusts his old friend, Mentor, with the care of his household and his son, Telemachus. But here's an interesting twist. The goddess, Athena, divine embodiment of wisdom and war strategy, frequently disguises herself as mentor to help guide Telemachus. So baked right into the origin of the word is this fusion. A mortal mentor, loyal, trusted, respected, but human and limited, combined with a divine force, wisdom, incisiveness, transformational power, wearing that mortal skin. This duality becomes a template. The mentor isn't just someone who knows more than you. They are someone who sees more in you than you can yet see in yourself. Someone who pushes you, yes, but also someone who eventually steps back so you can lead. Mentors through the ages. From Homer to Hollywood, we see this figure evolve. Merlin in Arthurian legend, Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, Dumbledore, Yoda, Morpheus. Each one balances wisdom and mystery, guidance and withdrawal, encouragement and challenge. They rarely do work for the hero. Instead, they shape the hero's arc. They give the sword, the insight, the question. Then they step back, or die, or disappear entirely. And always, the hero must go on alone. David Andersen, a mentor in real life. I want to bring this down to earth for a moment. One of the real mentors in my own life was a man named David Andersen. If you want to find out more about David, I recommend you search for him and an episode of another podcast created by his very own brother Kurt Andersen of Studio 360. In an episode profiling his brother, Kurt talks about how David has the persona much like that of the dude from the movie The Big Lebowski. There's so much I could say about David, but I'll talk about him in general to you so you can see the type of role he played in my life. Some of you listening, if you're in the piano industry, may have known him. He was a piano technician, but yet still a bit of a philosopher. And in addition to being a craftsman who built fine pianos, he was a truth teller among those in the industry. In some ways, he was a mythic figure. But he was, in the most grounded and generous way, a mentor with a capital M. David didn't just teach me or others how to tune a piano, how to perform a temperament tuning. He taught about integrity and craftsmanship and conscience. In essence, he taught many of us how to listen to our own inner voice when it came to the topic of performance. He often quoted the inner game of tennis, and it told us to listen to our bodies and get out of our heads when trying to perform our jobs. In many ways, as I think about David in the context of what I've shared so far, he channeled a bit of that divine wisdom, as though Athena were speaking through him. And at the same time, he showed us all how we have that inner voice inside of us. That divine wisdom, that if we only let it speak, we only need let go. And like Athena through Mentor, David gave people a glimpse of their better selves and left space for them to rise into it. Several years ago, while co-hosting a podcast similar to this one with me, David fought cancer. He beat cancer, attempted to fight it again, and lost. David, thank you for being my mentor and leaving space for me to rise into performing my calling in life. Many became better piano technicians, better artists, better humans because David challenged them to live their values out loud. The utility of mentor wisdom for University of the Universe. So what does this all mean for University of the Universe? It means we are not just building a platform, a curriculum, or even an institution. We're building a story, a narrative where students become heroes and we, their guides, become mentors. Sometimes visibly, sometimes invisibly, but always with the purpose of igniting greatness, not dictating steps. We're not here to teach facts. We're here to facilitate transformations. That's what Athena was doing. That's what David Andersen did. And that's what University of the Universe will do at scale. The power of storytelling. And that brings us to the final, perhaps most essential insight. A great mentor knows the value of a great story. Why? Because the human brain is wired for narrative. We don't learn best through information dumps. We learn through arcs, through tension, choice, transformation, resolution. So if you're trying to teach, lead, or guide anyone, tell a better story. Place them in it. Let them face the dragons. Let them walk away with the sword in their hand. Not yours. Closing. We are all, at some point, Telemachus, looking for direction. We are all, if we choose to be, mentor, calling others to their greatness. Here at University of the Universe, we're creating a space where those two roles constantly evolve, where every student is a hero in progress, and every guide is a channel for something wiser, bigger, and more enduring. Until next time, keep learning, keep leading, and keep becoming someone others can trust to guide them home.